Hi, this is Naveen Valecha, and I'll give you a quick demo of the workflow module in Drupal 8. I have just spin up our local site with 8.3.x. The release of 8.3.x has not came yet, so I have installed the dev version. Now I'll go to the extend screen and enable the module workflows, which has just committed a few days before. It's showing us a warning that it's experimental module, so use it on your own risk. It's still in the alpha state. I'll go to the configuration of the workflows module. So whoever has previously attended my session, those will get to know that these workflows, types, states, and their corresponding transitions, uh, workflow states, workflow transitions are being maintained by the content moderation module, but that is now being moved to the workflow module. So we have to enable any dependent module which will provide the extended handler to install the add the workflow types. In this case, we need the content moderation to demonstrate how it works. Sorry. Ouch. Directly go to the configuration page and then workflows. Here we have editorial workflow, and I'll go to I'll go there and edit this. Now previously these all previously these states and transitions were being maintained by the content moderation module. Now it has been split, that section has been slipped out, and this and there is a now a standalone API which is workflow module, which is maintaining the states and transitions. Now we have by default we have we as we have just installed the content moderation module, so it comes up by default with a workflow, editorial workflow, which contains three config entities, three states: draft, published, and archived. If we'll go to that draft, then we will see out that this is the state, draft state, that, and I'll quickly go to that published state as well, so that we can quickly review out that. Uh, Here the checkbox is checked, that published checkbox is checked. When the content reaches this state, it should be published. So this is these two states, like published and unpublished. Draft works when the content would be unpublished. When the content would be in the draft state, it would be unpublished. When the content would be in the published state, then it would be published. uh, when the so where would the revisions of that particular content will revive? So it would be its default revision. I'll quickly go back and show you on archive state. Now we are on the archive state. So here in the archive state, there are two transitions that can happen. In archive, we also have the it's also work in the unpublished state as well. So there can be two transitions can be happen uh, from the archive to draft, and then draft to like unarchived to published. So these types of two transitions which you can easily see out. Now I'll quickly go back to my screen. These are the workflow. Then how does it works? How does this workflow work? I'll quickly demonstrate you by creating a content type and just enabling out that moderation states. I'll quickly edit this content type and see that and check that whether the moderation is enabled on this particular content type or not. So now we have the option to choose which workflow we want to apply to this content type. So I'm choosing out the editorial workflow and saving this out. The main usability that the workflow is providing out, like we can reuse the workflows. Similarly, like in D8 we can use the blocks. We can create block once and we can place its instances at n places in reasons. I'll go to add content and then create an article. Now I have the two options here, but as I have the administrator rights, that's why I was having these both of the options. We can limit it out by configuring the permissions at the permissions. I'll quickly go and create a new draft. Now the content is in the review state. Now if I now this the reviewer content reviewer will logged in and then will review out the content, and whichever the changes he wants to made out, just make he will make out in the content, and then he will publish out the content. Now the state of the now the state has been now now the content is in the draft state and it will be moved to the published state. So the transitions corresponding from the published to draft to publish will make sure it will happen, and it will make the content to published. Now the state of the content is published.